Hey there, welcome to day 2240 of What You Up To Now. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, documenting the journey originally as I transitioned from the brick and mortar corporate world of business to the online world of business, and a whole lot of stories in between. Actually, probably a couple thousand for sure, probably a few hundred videos I didn't share stories on, but most of them I share something, some experience, some story, some lesson that I've learned along the way. And today we're talking about cybersecurity, and I did a little research on it because I personally hand this off for my businesses nowadays, and I do not handle, except for our part of the processes and how we interact with different security measures, different, encrypted type of, I guess it's called encryption, right? Encrypted type things. Private information or data that we don't want to get breached is encrypted and encoded and things. But I don't do any of that. It's done automatically by people that are experts in it, not me. But just like any kind of security, it is imperative for our businesses that we have security protocols built into our systems, especially when we're doing things like making food that other people consume. Terrorist attacks and terrorists and bad people have gotten involved, and they're way more creative than I could ever be when it comes to thinking of ways to take advantage of people. I think I've had my personal credit card hacked. I just had it again last week. And when you're traveling, that seems to happen. But that happened last week. And then 2 weeks before that. And then last, I think November, also when I was traveling, that happened. And so it happens, unfortunately, to all of us. And we have to have measures in place for ourselves individually, as well as for our businesses and to protect the people, our customers, and the people that we're here to serve. Their data, our company data, as well as our customers' information and our client information. Now, we do not collect in my businesses and businesses that I interact with, although some of my clients do, anybody's private information, especially when it comes to banking or financials or credit cards, any of that. We don't do any of that. I outsource that. But we need to have measures for those things in place. There's guidelines and there's rules that have to be followed, and we need to make sure that we're compliant with those. Just like all the other laws and regulations where we're doing business, we need to be compliant with those. And guess what? I say build your systems so that they're better than those so that you never have to worry about it. That's what we do in our businesses. Today for the Let's Grow Annual Challenge, I shared these adorable little squishmallows, which I call them the wrong thing all the time. I don't know why. I just can't seem to get the name right. But my granddaughters love them. I know they do. And these are actually gifts for my great nephew and great niece from my sister. She's their grandma, and so she loves to give them adorable squishmallows for pretty much every occasion. So they're going to have a huge collection of them, which is fun, right? Because they're so dang adorable. These are the Easter ones since Easter's coming up. And I use them in my Let's Grow Annual Challenge video today because they're fun, and I like to share fun things in my videos sometimes. Our topic today was one that I used a lot following my sudden cardiac arrest, and it's a transformational question. Since we're working on spiritual growth this month for the challenge, I thought it was a great topic for us to use because it's one of those little tools and techniques that you might forget about or you might not have ever heard of. I never heard of it until I was on a journey to explore and figure out what the heck had happened to me after that event. And one of the things I came across was what's her name? I can't remember her name right now. I can see her beautiful face, but I can't remember her name. It starts with an R. It's a really unique name. Anyway, she shared a concept on Darius Barzanti's teleseminars. That's how long ago this was. It was teleseminars that I listened to, and he's still around. I do not listen to him anymore. I don't participate in his show. I did for a couple of years following my cardiac arrest. And one of the things I learned was this transformational question: who does that belong to, or who does this belong to? And whenever something comes up, a negative feeling, a thought, a belief, an emotion, one of the most powerful things we can do is pause and ask ourselves, well, who does that belong to? Like if we catch ourselves, and this was a big one for me after my cardiac arrest, I would catch myself judging something or being judgmental about something. And I'd be like, well, who does that belong to? I mean, who am I to judge that, number one? And why am I judging it anyway? And I would realize that in a lot of instances, it wasn't even my conscious thought or belief that was judging something. It was just something from my past that I had locked onto, and I decided that's what I felt or thought or believed about something, or my opinion about something. And I realized that some of those things are just things that I picked up on a subconscious level, unconsciously, from other people, other places I'd worked, other experiences I'd had. And I just believed it for the longest time and never questioned it because I never really came up in my conscious mind. I never really thought about it. I just thought that that's the way I am, and realized that as an adult, we all have the opportunity and the privilege of choosing what we want to believe, what we want to think, what we want to stand behind or stand for, and the kind of example and person we want to be, and set the example we want to set in our life. So today our action item is to ask ourselves as we go about our day and notice things, well, who does that belong to? And that works both in a positive way and a negative way, right? We want to reinforce the beliefs and the thoughts and the feelings and the actions that move us in the direction we want to go. With this month, our spiritual growth and development, and different areas and aspects of our life, and help us achieve our goals. And the ones that don't support us, or that, geez, that happened when I was in kindergarten. Maybe I can let that go now, and I can look at the situation as a 64-year-old instead of a 5-year-old, and maybe I'll have a different take on it. And we actually need to do that because so much of our life we run through unconsciously, and programs are playing in our subconscious, and they're giving us results that we might not want, or they're conflicting. And so the things that we do want are harder and harder to achieve because we've got these beliefs that are mismatching and banging heads, and whichever one's stronger is going to win. And so that's some of the reasons we procrastinate, or we don't do what we say we're going to do. We don't achieve the things that we want. So who does that belong to? Who does this belong to? Excellent question. I challenge you to try it out today and see if you don't get some aha moments and realize that some of the stuff that you think and believe and feel, and some of the actions you take, they're not even yours. You just adopt them from your parents. How many of us realize the older we get, the more we are our mother, or the more we are our father? I think all of us, if we're willing to look and see that. All right. And that's awesome because I had amazing parents. All right. If I can help you in any way, hit me up and ask. Otherwise, have a fantastic day. And I will, of course, be with you tomorrow.